Welcome back to Corey's Tech Craft. Before I get into the video, I just want to say that in this new series, Retro Reviews, I will be reusing some of the subject matter from my older videos. I'm not satisfied by the little or any editing that was present in them, and so this series is dedicated to reshooting my old videos with the new Corey Tech Craft style. Like the video if you're interested in more, and without further ado, let's get into the video. Released in 1982, the Commodore 64 was the sixth home computer created by Commodore business machines. It is an 8-bit home computer powered by the MOS 6510 processor paired with 64.5 kilobytes of RAM, hence the Commodore 64 name. It holds a Guinness World Record for the best-selling home computer ever with 17 million units sold. It released with a price tag of $595 in 1982 or $1,481 in 2016. There were 6 versions of the system: the Commodore Max, the SX64, a portable system, the 64 Games system, the later 64C, and the original breadbin model, which I have. It runs a version of the BASIC programming language. The Commodore 64 has a wide array of ports for the time. It has a ROM cartridge slot, an RF modulator for video output, a Commodore dataset port for the cassette drive, 2 joystick ports, and a power connector. Now here's some comments from my dad, who actually owned a Commodore 64 in 1983.
The Commodore 64 was my first computer. Prior to this, my experience with programming was limited to the Trash 80 or Radio Shack TRS-80. The only vivid memory of the Trash 80 was when I completed a program in 7th grade programming class after school just as one of the parents tripped over the power cord and I lost all of my work. When it came to the Commodore 64 computer, I don't recall the decision process around why we chose this computer. What I do recall is that it consisted of the C64 computer, a 1541 5¼ floppy drive, and an AMDEC color monitor. The AMDEC monitor was great. It had crystal clear image, and since it used RCA input, I could use it for watching VHS tapes for our VHS player. Unfortunately, I got rid of the monitor, computer, and peripherals when I was trying to free up some space in the house in the early 2000s. This was unfortunate, as my son, as you know, turned out to become a collector of retro computers. When we first picked up the computer from the store, my first question was, what games does it come with? I quickly learned the only game available at the time was a cartridge game called Grid Runner. Due to the lack of games, I started programming in BASIC. I enjoyed using the sprite feature that came with the C64. This allowed you to create graphical images that you could then move around the screen. When one image entered the same space as another image, a flag would be set, which could be used to develop interactive video games. As time went on, the C64 became a serious gaming machine with a very large library of games available. Eventually, in the mid to late 80s, my use of the C64 dropped off.
My setup consists of the original breadbin Commodore 64, a 1541 disk drive, which is actually bigger and heavier than the computer itself, a Magnavox monochrome monitor, and a data case for storing 5¼ discs. Like the video if you want to see more retro reviews, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you.